Everything seemed peaceful in the small town of Jacksonville. 4 years, Police Chief Mark Reynolds had been a respected figure in the community, disciplined, fair, and as caring as a family man. But behind his calm exterior, Mark carried a heavy burden, an unresolved case that never left his desk. 10 years ago, 7-year-old Liam Carter had vanished without a trace. The incident shocked the entire town and devastated Liam's family. Despite exhaustive searches lasting days, the case went cold, leaving it as an open file collecting dust on Mark's desk. Yet, Liam's disappearance was more than a tragedy. It held a dark secret that had changed Mark's life forever. Mark Reynolds began his morning at the Jacksonville Police Department, as he always did. While sipping his coffee, he decided to organize the cluttered files on his desk. It was a routine task, one that often helped him clear his mind. But as he sifted through the files, his breath caught when he stumbled upon an old case file. It was Liam Carter's case. The worn-out file brought back the memory of a tragedy that had haunted him for a decade. Back then, the entire department had worked tirelessly to find Liam, but their efforts were in vain. Now, as Mark flipped through the notes, the unsolved pieces of the puzzle resurfaced. That same day, an unexpected discovery was made. A group of children playing in the woods on the outskirts of town stumbled upon an old campsite. Among the overgrown foliage, they found a partially buried bag and a few scattered toys. The toys, though dirty and worn, had name tags with Liam written on them, the name he used as a child. News of the discovery spread rapidly, bringing the long-forgotten case back into the spotlight. Mark and his team rushed to the scene to investigate. The forest clearing was eerily silent, surrounded by towering trees. The team carefully examined the bag, uncovering a jacket and several personal belongings, matching the description of items Liam had the day he disappeared. The media frenzy was immediate, and the town was once again captivated by Liam's story. His parents, overwhelmed with a mix of hope and dread, rushed to the police station. Liam's mother, Sarah Carter, broke down in tears as she exclaimed, "This is Liam's jacket, I'm sure of it." Mark tried to comfort them, but the tension in his voice was evident. Deep inside, he knew this case reopening could reveal something far more damaging than anyone imagined, something that had haunted him for a decade. With a calm but measured tone, Mark assured the family, "We'll analyze these findings thoroughly and keep you updated." But inside, he battled a storm. The case was no longer just about finding Liam, it was also about confronting the mistakes Mark had kept buried for years. As forensic teams analyzed the items, Mark's mind spiraled into memories of the day Liam vanished. He recalled patrolling near the edge of the forest, where he had witnessed a heated exchange between a man and a young boy who seemed to be about Liam's age. The boy's frightened expression had caught his attention, but Mark dismissed it, assuming the man was his father. The man was a stranger in town, tall, unkempt, and acting nervously. Mark hesitated, but ultimately drove on, brushing off the uneasy feeling in his gut. Hours later, when Liam was reported missing, Mark felt an overwhelming sense of guilt. The scene he had witnessed replayed in his mind, but he buried it deep, unwilling to face the possibility that his inaction might have cost a child his life. Now, 10 years later, the resurfaced case and newfound evidence forced Mark to confront his past. Could he have prevented Liam's disappearance? The guilt gnawed at him, but he resolved to pursue the truth. That night, Mark sat alone at home, staring at Liam's case file. The boy's smiling photo was still inside, a painful reminder of what had been lost. As the stranger's face from that day reappeared in his mind, Mark knew he couldn't stay silent any longer. Unable to carry the weight of his guilt, Mark decided to confess everything to the town prosecutor. He revealed his failure to act on the suspicious interaction he had seen in the woods. Mark's confession shook the police department and the town. Liam's parents were devastated and angry, struggling to process the revelation after all these years. The prosecutor began investigating whether Mark's inaction could constitute legal negligence. Just as tensions peaked, a surprising twist emerged. News of Mark's confession spread far and wide, catching the attention of a man from another town. This man, who had passed through Jacksonville years ago, contacted the police with crucial information. He had found Liam alone in the woods and taken him in, but Liam had been placed with another family under false pretenses. The police tracked Liam to a nearby city, where he had been living with a family who believed he was legally adopted. Now 17, Liam had grown into a lively teenager, unaware of his true identity. Despite his guilt, Mark's actions ultimately led to Liam's discovery. Reunited with his biological family, Liam's parents found joy and closure after years of anguish. As for Mark, the burden of his mistake remained, but he decided to leave Jacksonville, seeking peace elsewhere. This story is a powerful reminder of the cost of negligence, the strength of truth, and the healing power of forgiveness. After years of pain, Jacksonville found hope again.